Is an optometry residency even worth it? Honestly, this is a question that I'd say the vast majority of optometry students ask themselves throughout some point in their studies. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the pros and cons of doing an optometric residency, as well as share with you a secret that every optometry student needs to know. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ryan Corte, and this is Ryan Reflects. On this channel, I share with you actionable personal development content, as well as my thoughts on trending topics and common life experiences. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, throughout any point in the video, make sure you check out the notes and links in the description below. Personally, I ended up doing an optometry residency through the Illinois College of Optometry. It was the primary care and ocular disease residency. I'm really happy I did. It was a fantastic experience, but with this in mind, here are the pros and cons of doing an optometry residency. Let's start with the pros. Number one, experience, right? So doing a residency provides you with some really intense clinical training, and you're going to gain about 3 to 5 years of experience through that 1 year of intense clinical training. Of course, if you look at it from the opposite end of the spectrum, every optometrist eventually gets more and more experience over time, but those who do a residency are just that much more comfortable in the niche that they specialize in with that experience. Number two, specialization. So you have the opportunity to specialize in a particular vertical, a particular niche within the profession. It could be, ocular disease or cornea and contact lenses, pediatrics, low vision, whatever it may be. You have the opportunity to really build up your skill set and hit the ground running once you get out of residency with something that is very focused, and you can really leverage that in conversations with employers, or leverage that within your community to help build a particular patient base behind a particular niche. Number three is the mentorship, or just having more mentors to add to your professional portfolio. Me personally, I'm all about people. I love working with others. I love connecting with others. And if you've reached out to me even through the channel or on other social media platforms, I'm always happy to connect and talk and learn and be mentor where I can be a mentor, or even learn from others, because I have had a lot of awesome mentors in my life. A number of them coming from residency or throughout my experience as a younger, newer graduate optometrist. So your mentor could be your residency director, or somebody you work with within a clinic that is maybe not directly your director, but could be an ophthalmologist that you're handling care with. It could be a number of preceptors that you're working with. It could also be that maybe somebody else that came from a particular pathway from another school that you're a co-resident with, they start to mentor you on certain things. At the end of the day, you have the opportunity to build out that mentorship pipeline and learn from those around you in your residency. And number four, connections, right? So mentors are one thing, but actually building up your pipeline of connections. And this could be as simple as just connecting with co-residents or residents that are also doing a residency in your particular vertical, but in another residency program. Not to mention, when you do residency, let's just say you do a residency at the VA, you're kind of part of that VA group, right? That club that did the VA residency. Or for me, for example, I did a residency at Illinois College of Optometry. It's the largest optometry school in the country. And so now I have the ability to connect with other ICO students or residents or faculty members that have really had time or spent time at that institution. Connections are key in our profession, and you'll find out very quickly it's a small profession. So having the ability to connect with others during your residency just gives you an extra year to do so. And then speaking of the VA Medical Center and other niches, like if you want to practice in academia, the truth of the matter is that some of these subsets or practice modalities require you, or highly recommend you have a residency to get your foot in the door. The VA is one of them. Academia, I'm working as a professor or a clinical faculty member within an institution, is another. Sometimes it helps you with getting into industry or getting into research or getting into some of the more coveted OD, MD facilities. So sometimes it's required, particularly because it's becoming more mainstream. And number six, I mentioned it before, but confidence. I just find that those who do residencies tend to be a lot more confident coming out than those who don't. And it's not to say that you can't come straight out of school and do fantastic. You absolutely can, and I see a lot of people that do. But the initial confidence and ability to provide patient care, clinical patient care, is significantly higher in those who do residencies. All right, we're going to switch over now to the cons of doing a residency. And first and foremost, number one, that'd be that lost income during the initial year. So residents in general, the salary that you make during residency is low, right? It's not a lot. It's anywhere between $30,000, $40,000 max, give take, right? That on the flip side, your peers are going out and they're making six figures in the vast majority of cases. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people because that is a substantial amount of money to lose out on for that first year. But if you think about your entire professional career, those who elect to do a residency, they kind of look past that first year and say, hey, this is going to help me over time and give me the ability to make up that lost income with the way I manage patients and the way I have the ability to kind of build my professional resume and pedigree. But it is a lot of money to think about for that initial year. And number two, with a decrease in the amount of income that you'll have for the first year out, well, yeah, you're going to really delay paying off things like student loans. And I'm a huge advocate of paying down and then paying off your student loans. It just takes a huge weight off your shoulders. And so, yeah, with less capital, you kind of have to defer your loans or maybe, just pay the very minimum if you even have the ability to do so for that first year. So it does delay that process. Again, another downside of doing a residency. Number three, doing a residency delays taking a full-time, long-term career opportunity. So a couple things to think about, like if you have an opportunity that is time-bound and it's present and you're a fourth year and you have to jump on it right away, that opportunity may not be there when you're done with your residency because a lot of times these positions get filled. On the other side, maybe you have a family, or you have an optometry practice within the family, or you have been talking to somebody for years and you already had an agreement in place that you are going to be working at that practice. That delays jumping on that opportunity for another year. So making sure that all parties involved have that understanding that, hey, you're doing this for, the ability to continue to build out your expertise, your niche, and have the ability to focus on building out your professional career, but understand on your end that residencies do delay jumping on that long-term opportunity. Number four, a residency does, in some cases, you take a risk of pigeonholing yourself into a particular niche or specialization. And so let's just say, for an example, that you decided to do a residency in pediatrics. And you were like, I love pediatric patients. This is what I want to do. And I want to build up, my binocular vision and vision therapy practice and just being able to provide care to the pediatric population. But within about 3 to 6 months in, you realize, yeah, maybe this isn't for me. This isn't really going to be for me. And yeah, at that point, you're committed. You have to complete the residency because you made a commitment and that's something that you need to do. You're essentially, though, you come out with that residency and that experience, well, it may not be the right fit for you, right? And so but at that point, you have already turned that leaf and are saying, I want to go into this vertical. So you'd have to kind of reinvent yourself when you get out. And I have talked to some people who are like, well, I did a residency in, let's just say, ocular disease. I like ocular disease. I know I'm going to see a lot of it throughout my life, but I want to be more in a primary care setting. And, I really want to fit specialty contacts and have a high-end optical. That's okay, right? But again, it's something to be mindful of if you pick a residency and you end up not selecting the right vertical or niche for you. And number five, the con here is sacrifice, right? You're essentially sacrificing a lot of things in life, right? Because you've already put 4 years of undergrad in and you put 4 years of optometry school in. So it's another year on top of it for a lot of hard work. Residency isn't easy. So you go in with the mindset you're going to learn a lot, you're going to grow a lot, but you're going to grind. You're going to work hard. You're going to see a lot of patients. You're going to have a lot of unique case scenarios and complex situations. And you're going to have to do other things to essentially meet the criteria of your residency, whether it is grand rounds or case reports or presenting at national meetings. There are a lot that each residency program has in regards to the specifics that you have to meet criteria-wise to complete it. But with that being said, it is not easy work, right? It is a sacrifice, and it's a sacrifice for less money. All right, so is an optometry residency really worth it? Well, here's my secret for every optometry student and new grad out there, and eventually learn it as you continue to be a part of this profession. In my opinion, yes, absolutely, it is worth it. And you may ask other doctors out there, and they say, I did just fine without one. And I 100% agree on both facets. I know doctors that are extremely successful didn't do a residency. I know doctors that are extremely successful and they did a residency. And that also includes happiness and they enjoy their day-to-day. So it truly depends on what you're looking for. But I can tell you, if you do one, you won't regret it. If you don't, you also will not regret it, because this profession is a fantastic profession. We have the ability to continue to specialize and grow and learn and provide care to patients. And you can do that with or without doing a residency and at a very high level, right? So optometry school, residency, that's just the beginning of your professional career as a new graduate optometrist or somebody who's even looking into the profession. So I would love to hear, though, about your thoughts in the comments below on if you think a residency is worth it, why or why not. Let me know, and stay tuned for my next video where we can reflect and grow stronger together.